Buongiorno, good afternoon everyone, and thank you for joining us today. Today we are celebrating the Festa of our patron saint, San Bartolomeo. I hope you all have your cafe and biscotto with you, like I do. Sit back, relax and enjoy on this cold Melbourne day, and we'll have a look a bit about this Festa di San Bartolomeo. Now, please feel free to share this video with your friends and family on Facebook by clicking the share icon button, so just more people can have a look at it. It will also be available to be seen afterwards if you did miss certain parts of the show today. So my name is Michael Angelini. I am the Assistant Event Manager at the Società Isole Eolie Melbourne and host for this afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here again to present to you the Festa di San Bartolomeo. Now, today we would have scheduled the Festa di San Bartolomeo at St Anthony Shrine in Hawthorn, but due to COVID restrictions here in Melbourne, we weren't able to do that today. So instead, we'll present to you live a bit about San Bartolomeo, and you'll see what we normally do on a day like today. So, also to let you know that there's the Mass for San Bartolomeo in Liberty. That will be shown at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday their time. So here in Melbourne, it will be 3:30 a.m. on Tuesday live here. But we'll see if we can broadcast it on the Tuesday afternoon or morning for you guys to see on our Facebook page. I'll show at the end, right at the end of today's show. There'll be a little spiel about it and where you can be able to access this live feed. So, before I continue now, I'd like to pass over to Tony Barbuto, the president of the Contraternita San Bartolomeo Melbourne, for his address.
Thank you very much, Michael. Hello, everyone, and I hope you are all well in these very difficult times, and thank you for joining us. As the president of Contraternita San Bartolomeo, I'd like to speak about the Festa of our patron saint just a couple of minutes. This year, with the restrictions that we have here in Melbourne, especially with the coronavirus, we won't be able to have the annual Festa of San Bartolomeo like we have done for so many years. In fact, since 1946. Festa of San Bartolomeo started here in Melbourne in 1929 by a group of a very devoted Aeoliani, and the aim was to keep all the arrivals connected with the homeland and keep the devotion to our patron saint alive. Those days, the Festa of our patron saint was celebrated at St Ignatius in Richmond. Those days, of course, the centre of the Italians and Aeoliani, when they first arrived, was Richmond. And of course, after the Second World War, the centre of the Italians and Aeoliani become Carlton. During the war years, Festa San Bartolo stopped in 1939 and restarted again in 1946 after the men returned from the war. In the early 50s, Festa was moved to Carlton at the Sacred Heart Church, better known by many Aeoliani at San Giorgio. When the shrine of St. Anthony was built in the 60s, San Bartolo was moved there and is still there today. And of course, that's his home. He will always be there. This year, for the first time since the war, the Festa of our patron saint won't be celebrated, which people of my generation and younger can remember. Of course, it was many, many years ago. This August is very different than all the other Augusts that we remember. We are all isolated, locked down, and we can see our families, we can see our children, and we can't even go to Mass on a Sunday. Even though there's no Festa this year, but I ask you to pray for San Bartolomeo in your own home to keep us safe from this terrible virus, and also pray for all those people who have lost loved ones with this terrible pandemic. We wish them strength during this very difficult times. In conclusion, we hope to have a special Mass for San Bartolomeo once this is over, and we go back, of course, to normal life. Probably this will be early next year, maybe in February, when they're celebrating the Fest of San Bartolomeo Liberi for the fishermen. Finally, so in conclusion, we hope that this festa, this Mass, will be celebrated with many Eoliani and many members of the Contraternita San Bartolomeo. But we will keep in touch with you. And finally, may San Bartolomeo keep you safe with all your families, and look after one another. And thank you very much for watching this small video. Ciao, ciao for now, and keep safe. Bye.
Cool. Thank you so much, Tony, for your words. Now, also, I'd like to let you know, please stay tuned to the end of the show. We will be, we'll be showing a special video showcasing the history of the Festa di San Bartolomeo from 929. So that'll be shown at the end of today's show. So please stick around for that. So some of you may ask, why do we still celebrate this Festa di San Bartolomeo and these other saints? Well, as Tony mentioned, as religion and festivals were an integral part of life, Italian life, newly arrived Australians sought to recreate an environment similar to that similar to their motherland. So religious confraternitas were formed to upkeep the devotion to patron saints of their hometown. So it was something they could always feel like they're back home and experience. I'd now like to show you a quick video of the San Bartolomeo Festa in 2016. Now, it's a tradition at the Mass to kiss the relic of the Vasceluzzo. It's a friendship vessel, to be exact. And it's said that in February 1672, it was going down to Messina to bring some grain, but due to a storm, it actually landed in Lipari and left all its grain for the Liberotti. At the time, it was left there at no cost to any of them. So, of course, all the citizens were so happy about this, and at that time they had a famine as well. So, with that, they made bread, and it was considered a grace of God. You also hear the inno, the anthem of the San Bartolomeo, which is being sung in the background. So let's have a watch at this video. Wow, looking at that really makes you think how times have changed in just a year. Wow. Today we're very fortunate also to have a message from Father Messina. Now, Julian Messina is the OFM Capuchin Guardian Italian chaplain of St. Anthony's Shrine in Hawthorne. We'll have a listen to his message, and to let you know, this is St. Anthony's here, St. Anthony's Shrine in Hawthorne. So I forgot to mention that before, but so now we'll listen to Father Anthony's message.
Sia lodato Gesù Cristo. Cari amici e devoti di San Bartolomeo e cari fratelli e sorelle eoliane, il 24 di agosto è un giorno molto speciale qui al Santuario di Sant'Antonio, da quando 50 anni fa la statua di San Bartolomeo, giunta qui nella chiesa del Sacro Cuore, Carlton, fece di questa chiesa la sua dimora. Quest'anno si celebra solennemente la festa organizzata dalla Contraternita di San Bartolomeo e ogni anno il popolo eoliano di Melbourne si riunisce qui in questo meraviglioso tempio per onorare il loro grande santo patrono. Questa tradizione ha aiutato i devoti di questo grande santo a dare vita alla loro fede in Dio. Assicurate che con un intercessore così fedele davanti a Dio, le loro richieste e preghiere troveranno favore presso Dio. Ma quest'anno purtroppo, a causa di questa Covid pandemia che ci sta affliggendo, non è possibile riunirci per celebrare la tradizione, processione e la Santa Messa in onore di San Bartolomeo. Ma io e gli altri frati cappuccini, custodi di questo bellissimo santuario di Sant'Antonio, in questa occasione speciale vogliamo assicurarvi dei nostri preghiere e l'offerta per voi di una Santa Messa. Le nostre preghiere e le nostre intenzioni a voi, le devoti di San Bartolomeo, e che il Signore vi benedice. Adesso facciamo una preghiera speciale in onore di San Bartolomeo e preghiamo. O San Bartolomeo, nostro patrone, ottieni per tutti gli eoliani e i tuoi devoti fedeli la grazia di saper professare in ogni avvenimento la loro fede. Tu, o glorioso Santo, che spinto dallo zelo degli animi lasciaste ogni cosa terrena per seguire Gesù, fate che noi emigrati in Australia seguiamo fedelmente e con odore gli inviti della grazia divina. Accoglie, Signore, le nostre preghiere della festa dell'Apostolo San Bartolomeo e per tua intercessione concedi al popolo cristiano il soccorso della tua misericordia. Per Cristo nostro Signore. Amen. E a voi tutti la benedizione di Dio Onnipotente, il Padre, Figlio e lo Spirito Santo, discende su di voi e rimane con voi per sempre. E viva San Bartolomeo!
Thank you, Father Messina. I'd now like to show you a quick snippet from our Amunini documentary that we created 5 years ago for the Società Isole Eolie's 90th anniversary. I'll show you it to you right now. Here we go.
Each year in August, the Societa with the Contraternita di San Bartolomeo and the Aeolian community celebrate their patron saint with a mass and procession of the statue of San Bartolomeo around the grounds of the St. Anthony Shrine, Hawthorne, in accordance to their island's traditions. However, dark clouds loom in the distant skies, threatening the viability of the Societa's future. With the rising costs of maintaining the hall, the committee grapples with the serious issue of many of its ageing members no longer being able to participate, or, worse still, having already passed away. Perhaps more disconcerting is that there appears to be limited enthusiasm from the younger generations to replace them.
I would say that a lot of people my age don't really see the club as something for them. I think it's maybe carries a stigma that it's associated with older people, and you don't really find the idea of things your parents used to do that cool.
The first generation is already more or less here. The second, it's like putting a bit of water in a glass of wine. The third, well, it got more water than wine, and we try a lot of things to bring them back. It's not until they get to their 50 they started to feel a little bit of a drawback to their roots.
Yes, unfortunately it is true. Many people in Australia possibly do see these religious festas as something for the older generations. It's interesting, instead in Italy, still to this very day, it's a different story. If you go to any town and they're having their patron saint day, the whole town is involved, from the 3-year-old children to the 70-year-olds. Everyone comes out to celebrate. It's a huge big deal. I'm sure many of you have experienced this when you've gone over to Italy. For us here in Melbourne, it once was something like this between the 40s and the 50s, when Aeolian immigration was at its peak. At one stage, we had 5,000 to 6,000 people attending the festa from all parts of Victoria. So it has been a big part of many people's lives. Today, with the Società Isole Eolie, we help celebrate with what used to be un ballo. Now we do a luncheon a week before the Festa di San Bartolomeo, which now brings me to, I'll now pass it over to Sam Portelli, the president of the Società Isole Eolie, for his address.
Thank you, Michael. Welcome to our special celebration of San Bartolomeo, whose feast day is the 24th of August. To my left, I have the statue of Saint Bartolomeo in the cathedral at Lipari, and to the right, I have the statue from St. Anthony's in Hawthorne. San Bartolomeo is the patron saint of the Aeolian Islands and has been revered by Aeolians ever since his remains miraculously arrived in Lipari in the 1st century AD. He was washed ashore in a marble chest. He was actually martyred in Armenia, which is to the east of Turkey, by being skinned alive, and his body was dumped at sea. In the cathedral in Lipari, they still have part of his remains, a thumb. The rest of the remains were taken away to other parts of the world, including Rome, where there is a basilica in the Tiber River dedicated to him. There are stories of miracles in Lipari associated with the saint. On one occasion, on his feast day, the saint's statue was being carried through town. While men were carrying it downhill, the statue suddenly became so heavy that they had to put it down. When they continued the journey, the statue became heavier again, so the men stopped again. On the 3rd time, they rested with the statue the walls collapsed further downhill. Had they been continuing carrying the statue, many would have been killed. On another occasion, during World War II, the fascist regime looked for ways to finance their activities. The order was given to take the silver statue of the saint, going back to the 1728, and to melt it down. The statue was weighed, and it was found to be only a few grams, so it was returned to its place in the Cathedral of Lipari. In reality, the statue is made from many kilograms of silver, and it is considered a miracle that it was not melted down. In Australia, my Aeolian-born parents always kept a picture of San Bartolomeo on the wall of their bedroom. As you can understand, it was quite an intriguing and confronting picture for me as a child, to see a half-naked man holding a butcher's knife and with skin draped over his arm. My parents explained who this special person was to them and the Aeolian people. I also fondly remember attending the festas when I was a teenager, initially at St. George's Church in Carlton, now called the Sacred Heart Church, and later at St. Anthony's. I remember the huge crowds, the hymns, the big processions with the statue around the church and the reception functions. Very special occasions for me. At the Societa, we've always supported the San Bartolomeo Festa and look forward to it remaining relevant in our members' lives. At this time, however, I ask you to pray a special prayer to San Bartolomeo to intercede for all those affected by the coronavirus. Normally, if we were together at our usual San Bartolomeo lunch, I would begin by saying, vi auguro un bello pranzo, ascialatevi. Ciao, ci vediamo. Bye for now, until we see you again.
Thank you, Sam, for telling us more about San Bartolomeo and the amazing miracles associated him in Lipari. I know some of you may have participated and have come along to the Festa over the years, but for those of you that haven't been to the Festa di San Bartolomeo, the next video I'm going to show you is going to give you a bit of a sense of what we normally do in the day. So that video was taken in 2018 at St. Anthony's Shrine in Hawthorne. In the early days, the Festa of San Bartolomeo used to be an all-day event, starting from the morning to the late afternoon. Now we have a mass that normally starts at 2 p.m. And with some refreshments afterwards. As mentioned before, the Società Isole Eolie holds a week prior a luncheon to celebrate the Festa with a 3-course meal, dancing and entertainment. But unfortunately last week, due to the situation, we weren't able to hold the luncheon. So, and also just to remind you, please stay to the end of the show today, which will be not too long, where we'll be having a video showing the history of the San Bartolomeo Festa here in Melbourne since 1929. I'd now like to cross live over to our event director, Janetta Zino, who will give her message.
Thank you, Michael. Hello, everyone. Each year, the Società Isole Eolie, together with the Contraternita San Bartolomeo, organises festivities for the patron saint of the Aeolian Islands, San Bartolo. Today, Sunday the 23rd of August 2020, would have been the Festa di San Bartolomeo at St. Anthony's Shrine in Hawthorne. And last Sunday, the 16th of August 2020, would have been our San Bartolomeo luncheon at the Aeolian Hall in Carlton North. Unfortunately, this year things are a little different, so we are going to do things differently. I'd like to start by wishing everyone a happy name day, or buon onomastico if your name is Bartolo, Bartolomeo, Bartolina, Bob, even Bart, Betty, or any other variations for tomorrow, the 24th of August, the official feast day for San Bartolomeo or Saint Bartholomew. Normally, during these celebratory events, we would invite all those that are celebrating their name day up to the stage. But as we are unable to do so this year, I would like to invite you all, if your name is Bartolo, or as I said, one of the variations, to send us a message right now, and even a photo if you like, so we can acknowledge you in that way. I would like to send a special virtual buon onomastico to my comare Bartolina Paino, and of course in memory of my late father Bartolo Zino. Riposi in pace. And of course, a buon onomastico to everyone in the Aeolian Islands who are celebrating, to my family and friends in Lipari, where this photo that you can see in the background was taken by a very good friend of mine and photographer, fellow Eolo Australiano Peter Casamento. It is, of course, the photo of the Basilica con Cattedrale di San Bartolomeo a Lipari. On any other year, right about now, we would be in church praying to our patron saint. But since we are unable to here in Melbourne, I would like to take this opportunity to pray the Preghiera di San Bartolomeo in Italiano. San Bartolomeo, glorioso apostolo di Gesù, prostrati ai vostri piedi con filiale gratitudine. Vi dichiariamo nostro avvocato, nostro patrono e nostro protettore. Vi siano resi infinite grazie per i benefici elargiti ai figli delle Isole Eolie, che a voi si sono affidati nelle loro tribolazioni. Pentiti dei nostri peccati che ci hanno reso immeritevoli dei favori celesti. Vi supplichiamo di frenare la divina vendetta da noi provocata e di richiamare all'osservanza del Santo Evangelo tanti traviati che o per debolezza o per errore o per malizia hanno offeso Gesù e si sono sbandati per le vie dell'errore e del peccato. Vi preghiamo ancora per i nostri emigrati, i quali, pur avendo lasciato patria e famiglia, in cerca di pane in regioni lontane, ricordano voi, le vostre chiese e i vostri altari. Il generoso contributo di essi ci dà modo di celebrare con solennità le vostre feste, di corredare le chiese nelle nostre isole e di incrementare il vostro culto, da essi profondamente sentito e devotamente osservato. In ogni cuore, in ogni casa, in ogni borgata si cantino le vostre glorie, o celeste difensore di questa diocesi, affidata alla vostra tutela. E così sia. Thank you so much for your attention. And in conclusion, I would like to recite the prayer of the Rosario di San Bartolo in dialetto eoliano. Oggi e sempre sia lodato San Bartolomeo, nostro avvocato, e lodamolo con favore a San Bartolo, protettore. E viva San Bartolo! Arrivederci.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Janetta, for that. So, yes, if you have anyone you know who's called Bartolo, Bartolina, Bob, what can I say? Tag him in the comments below. If you like other friends to see this video, also tag them. It'll help them direct them to our live presentation here today. So, heading towards the end of our show today, firstly, I'd just like to say, if you haven't known already, that we do have a new YouTube page, Società Isole Eolie. And on here, you'll be able to find our recent 95th anniversary video that we put up a couple weeks ago. You'll find our picnics. You'll also find the video you saw previously, the 2018 Festa di San Bartolomeo at St. Anthony's Shrine in Hawthorne, which is also on YouTube. And yeah, so it's just it'll be populated as we go with our events that happen throughout the year. I'd also like to just again make you aware of our 95th anniversary. So, as we're not able to celebrate this year with the Società Isole Eolie, we would love if all of you could send in a best wishes video. Doesn't have to be too long at all. Up to 30 seconds is fine. It can be in English, dialect, or in Italian. And what we do is hope to get make a compilation video of all your best wishes together for this time that we're not able to celebrate. So we have extended the deadline to the end of August, the 31st of August. So please send them in. You can go to aeolianmelbourne.com.au/95th anniversary. And there you'll find all the information you need to complete your video. You can upload it on that site, or you can send us an email, or through Facebook Messenger through our page. Is no problems at all. So thank you for those who have already sent them in. We have received them and we've put them aside. So yes, thank you so much for them. And also one event that we still do have going on is the genealogy webinar, or seminar as we have called it previously. So this year we will be doing it differently, and it will be all online. So wherever you are in the world, whatever time zone, you can log in and watch our webinar. So we're having a series of webinars this year, actually. So from the 4th of October to the 25th of October, every Sunday in October, we will be presenting a couple topics to you. So registration will begin at the start of September, and you can, if I have it here... No, I don't. But you can go to aeolianmelbourne.com.au/family history, or you'll be able to go onto our website and there'll be some information there. So that's the hub /family history. If you would like some more information. Wonderful. Well, this sort of concludes today's show. And before we conclude, I'd like to thank Tony Barbuto and Marcello D'Amico for their photos of the Festa di San Bartolomeo, which you'll see shortly. I'd like to thank also Tony Barbuto again, the president of the Contraternita San Bartolomeo, Sam Portelli, the president of the Società Isole Eolie, and Janetta Zino, events director of the Società Isole Eolie. And on behalf of all of us, we'd like to thank you for joining us today. We hope you keep safe and you've enjoyed this presentation to celebrate our patron saint of Lipari and the protector of the Aeolian Islands, San Bartolomeo. My name is Marco Angelini, and I will leave you now with a video showcasing the history of the Festa di San Bartolomeo here in Melbourne. Enjoy.